Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Lotachi Vanessa, and if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 things I wish I knew before working in the corporate world.
In addition, I'll be sharing with you tips for climbing the corporate ladder as well as 9 to 5 career tips for 2020. I didn't know any of these when I started my career, but I'll be sharing this with you in this video.
If you haven't yet already checked out my intro video, I'll leave a link. A card will just pop up right now, and that card will link you to my intro video. And on that video, I talk about how on this channel I'm going to be talking about the world of 9 to 5, being a career girl. I've been working for, this year will make it the 5th year since my first ever real job after university. I've been working from home, and working from home, I started to evaluate a lot of things that happened in the office, and I decided that I would do this video because I felt like there were a lot of things that I wish someone called me and told me before I started my first job, but I learned it the hard way. So let's get right into the video. Also, you want to stick right till the end because I'm going to be sharing a few tips I won't share like throughout, so just stick till the end. It's not going to be a really long video. Number one is you need to carve a niche for yourself. Imagine you have a lot of people, like you have so many people that can do the same thing you do, that are programmed to do the same thing you do. It's like basically having robots. You need that extra thing that makes you stand out. Of course, don't go and stand out in only that one thing and not be able to do the job, the real job that you're called to do. You also need to know your onions very, very well. And after you know your onions, you need to carve out a niche for yourself. Let your boss or the people you work with know you for one thing. Basically, the point is you need to be memorable. You need to be memorable in your boss's mind. Your boss can think of, oh, any of my guys can do that IT thing or can balance that account. But when it comes to this particular thing, I will call Toyin because Toyin knows how to do it very well. I recommend Toyin because he has the interpersonal skills. I recommend Adam because he's very good in writing. I recommend Foluke because she's good in designing PowerPoint slides. You need to be memorable. Number two, very, very, very important. Appearance is gold. Living in Lagos, people tend to, because of the stress, who has time to put on makeup, who has time to look good, who has time to buy a new dress for work, like what's that? Statistics has shown that people respond to you better when you are properly dressed.
Way before I even knew the importance of appearance, I was that girl who always wore makeup to the office. I always tried to just wear makeup and look good because when I looked good, I felt better at the office. I was that girl, but I didn't know how important this was.
Appearance is not just about your dressing, your makeup, like the outer look. It also is in the way you speak, in the way you present yourself. You need to come very, very close. Let me tell you, I heard it through the grapevine that at some level, when they are trying to promote people, it's no longer about your competency. It's not about what you can do. It's basically about how you are presented. Does this person look like a manager? It boils down to the little things like, does she dress well, does he dress well, does he speak well? If we go out and we're at a conference and we're like, oh, this is our head of department, does he look right, does he fit the part? So you need to build that habit from now. Appearance is very, very, very important. So number 3, work is a political playground. Hey, don't get it twisted though, let nobody deceive you. It is all a political playground. And I remember I was having a very difficult time coping. I was having a difficult time understanding the environment and gauging how people, why people behave the way they do. In a corporate organization, every single move has an underlying political tinge to it. So as soon as you realize that this person speaking at this meeting, she's not speaking mainly because she doesn't want to put her point across. She's considering those at the meeting, how are they going to see her. Everybody has a political agenda. Once you get that into your mind, once you realize that, trust me, everything is going to fall into place. There are different people, it's like a chess game. Different moves lead to different things. You need to be aware of it. You need to be diplomatic at all times. So this brings us to the fourth point. Do not get personal. Nothing is personal. Honestly, I wish someone sat me down and was like, Lota, these are things you're not supposed to take personal. The best tip I'll give you, you need to be a Nollywood actor or actress when you enter the office. Yes, you're a character in the office and you're a different character when you're in the house. Those two people are separate and different. If you're someone that, you take things to heart, things get to you, they pain you, separate it. I'm telling you the truth. Separate work, separate work and everything. Put them in one container. Then your personal life, carry it and put it in another container. Don't let it, don't allow the emotions get to you too much. Now the fifth point is that you need to be a step ahead. I believe every single person in this world has a strategy or a plan for their life. Whatever your plan is, you need to set that plan first aside and then look at where you are presently. If you're just an analyst, basically you're just kind of starting out, and you know that you want to be a senior manager, you need to start acting that part. You can't stay and be acting as an analyst and expect people in your organization to see you and promote you to senior manager. It doesn't work that way. It's not a fantasy world. You need to dress the part, you need to act the part, you need to do the part. In doing the part, this brings me to another key point, which is you need to know the senior manager's KPI. What I mean is that you have your own KPI as an analyst, and the senior manager has his own KPI. To get from analyst to senior manager, you need to be able to do what the senior manager is doing. Basically, you need to be able to fulfill everything on that senior manager's KPI. There will be opportunities that will come up where they'll be looking for, okay, who can do this thing? And you've been training yourself to do that thing. This is the time where you can now come out and say, oh yes ma, I can do it, I've been learning how to do it, and you do it and show off that you can do that thing. The sixth point is you need to be a yes person. You need to have the right attitude. You need to have the attitude of someone that has a can-do attitude.
At the same time, you don't need to overpromise. Have the attitude of someone that is willing to take on a task. Don't be someone that, as they come and say, oh, Joan, I need you to build Noah's Ark, you're like,
Noah's Ark, it was in the biblical times they built it though. It's not possible for us to do it now. In fact, we don't even have the technical know-how.
Give it some time, think about it again. If there's really no way, go back to your boss and tell her,
this Noah's Ark you said I should do. I've done my research, I've checked out what the base is, I've checked out the height, I've checked out those people that do it. I also found out that we need a contractor, we need an engineer, we need someone that is a pastor.
So you've done your research. At that point, you're not telling your boss that I cannot do this thing, though, but your boss already knows that you've done something. But if you are the one you're complaining from the get-go, even if at the end you're unable to build that app, they'll say that it's because you don't even want to build the app, that's why it didn't work.
Maybe your boss calls you at off working hours and asks you to do something. Don't say no, I can't do it. Oh, I'm at a party when I get home. Say, oh
yes, I'll look into it, but I'm not at home right now. I'm currently somewhere very far away from home, but as soon as I get home, which is in another 10 hours or another 4 hours, I'll try and start work on it. When do you need this by, ma? Okay, I'll try and see.
Ask me when do you need this by? Okay, I'll try and see what I can do. Have that positive can-do attitude. My point is, you need to be political in the way you address your boss. When it comes to promotion, or when it comes to a time for for her to recommend someone in her team that is good, your name will come up because you have shown her that you're willing to learn. So point number 7 is that you should always aim to go the extra mile. If your boss asks you to do a research on the number of bottles we have in Nigeria, as a young professional, you need to, if you can, this is a tip, you can ask your boss, okay, is this in relation to the Nigerian breweries project that we are doing, or is it in relation to, or just come out straight and ask her, okay ma, what is this for, what is this research going to help us with? That way you can have a better understanding of why she's asking you to do a research on bottles. Maybe she doesn't even know what she's asking you for. She just wants to know, maybe she's still on defense of an idea that she's trying to juggle. Add some color to your research. Don't just go, okay, she asked you for how many bottles you have. You're giving her half the number of bottles. go the extra mile, do something more, be memorable. So the 8th point is blend in. I don't want to know where you think you're coming from. I don't want to know whose child you think you are. Wherever you find yourself, you need to blend in to the culture of the place. Don't hold on to another culture that you think, because you shouldn't have accepted the offer if you are not going to be willing to blend into their culture. I'm not saying go and blend in, and if they are doing like some immoral acts, you should join them. No, but with sense, you need to blend in. As long as it's not like affecting your religious beliefs or something, blend in. Don't say I'm too big for that, I can't do that, or I'm too great, I'm too mighty for that. Do they even know who I am? No need for all that. Point number 9 is you need to align yourself right. And this is the tip, there are 3 key people you need to align yourselves with, that you need to be friends with. Number 1, you need to be friends with people that are on your level. When I say on your level, I don't mean if you're entry level, you should only be friends with people that are entry level. No, you can be friends with people that are like maybe one stage or two levels above you. You need to have a group of friends like around that circle. It would help to tell you what's happening. Okay, this thing is coming up, or that thing is coming up. You'll be aware of things happening or things that are affecting people that are on your level, when you have friends that are also on your level or around the level that you are. The second kind of friends you need to have are friends that are in cross functions. So if you evaluate your function and you feel like, okay, in my function we deal with the marketing department, we deal with the sales department, and you deal with them on a regular basis. You need to have friends in those departments. You need to have a friend in marketing, a friend in sales. The reason is that you have those friends so that in case maybe you're at a stage or at a point where you need their help, or you need some information from them based on the fact that your role expects you to work closely with that department, these friends you have, they will willingly give you that information. The third kind of friends you need to have, which is the most difficult kind of friends to get, is friends in high places. You need to know those that have long legs. You need to align yourself right. Be friends with them. Yes, it can be very difficult. Like you'll be thinking, who do I even know? How will I be friends with them? One tip that I know that I picked up is that you can ask the one that you really think you're closest to, or the one you think you really admire, to be a mentor. That way you're friends with him. If he's having a party in his house, he might even call you, come and help. Develop that relationship from mentoring. Sometimes you need to take matters into your own hands. If you're not opportune to know some of these big boys personally, this is another way that you can get in touch with them. Now, the 10th point, which is the last point, is that you need to attend company events strategically. Now, in line with, if you've been listening to everything I've been saying, I've touched a lot on politics at work, on not just allowing things to happen by chance, and this is one of them. Organizations tend to have events, maybe 4 or 5 events where the big boys have to attend. Those kind of events are the ones that you want to ensure that you're at. Now, if you have to be friends with someone that can get you a ticket, if that event needs you to have a ticket, be friends with them. Do whatever you can to get a ticket into that event. Another thing you can do is that you can volunteer. You can go to the people, the department that is organizing the event, and be like, I want to be in charge of those that are cooking, or I want to organize the chefs and whatnot. I don't know, there are many ways you can engage these bigger boys, and some of them you might need to see them at social gatherings to be able to tap into that opportunity very, very well. Another tip you can do is, if you are at an event where maybe it's a seminar and they ask, does anybody have any questions? Raise your hand. Be like, oh yeah, I have a question. Over here, I have a question. Your question might be, just to thank the coordinator that, I'm really grateful for this session, I learned a lot. It can be anything, but the point is that at that 5-second point, or 5-minute point, or 1-minute point, the spotlight is on you. Everybody is looking at you. Your face is being registered. That's another way that you can make yourself known, and you can be strategically aligned to things that are happening in the organization. I've come to the end of this video, and I know I've said so much, and honestly, like I said in the beginning, these are 10 things I wish someone told me before joining a corporate organization. And I'm still trying to learn a lot of these things. I'm not yet an expert. As much as you might think I know it all, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning. I'm still very much trying to learn the ropes of working in a corporate organization. So guys, if you know you learned anything in this video, please comment at the comment section. Let me know what it is you learned. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there are some points of mine that you disagree with. Just let me know your thoughts. Engage with me. If you know that you enjoyed this video, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you know that you know anybody that is going to start a job soon or moving from a small organization to a bigger one, share this video with them, because these tips are going to help you avoid a lot of heartache in the future. Trust me. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed watching me as I enjoyed making this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.